Live we are with another edition of Pip's Planespotting Live, or as I'm trying to get to brand, PPL. Welcome to PPL, beginning at 1 p.m. here, Mountain Standard Time in Salt Lake City International Airport. We are on the air. Welcome in, everybody. We'll be here until 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so our usual 2-hour slot. And we are on the west side of Salt Lake International Airport. At Concourse A, we're going to have South Flow operations. So that means we're going to see the planes when they come land. They're going to be, coming from over there off in the distance. So we'll see that as well as our departures coming from the north headed south. So they're going to be departing and arriving on runway 16 right. So we are on the west side. If you can hear me okay and can see everything all right, just give me a holler and let me know. And we'll keep an eye on things and make sure you have a good time today. That is the plan. Welcome in, everybody. And we're looking, of course, at our usual Concourse A on a beautiful sunny day before the wind and rain comes in tomorrow. So I am Pip. Thanks for the like. Welcome in. It's good to be with you today. I decided that we would get out there after a day off and get back at it. It's a nice thing about having a little free time and not being attached, so to speak, to everything. But we are back in action. Thanks for the like as well. I am Pip. And if you're new to the channel, I encourage you to like and subscribe. Subscribing for those great subscribers of mine, you'll know they'll testify that I'll put out a video the day of or the night before when we're going to be on the air. So I encourage you to subscribe whenever possible. And if you know friends who are interested in plane spotting, we invite you to join the party. So I'm thrilled that you could be with us today. Everything sounding good, looking good. Let us know if you can't hear us. Well, I'm going to throw my headset over the parking garage wall because I did do a test. So I don't know if that's probably the most correct way or politically correct thing to say, but looking at our departures, looks like they're going to send a host of general aviation traffic to the east side where we were on Tuesday. But thank you for joining in. And things are going to be picking up today. For once, the A330 from Paris is not on time or early. Now, they may route them to the east side, but we'll see how operations go. Looks like we might see Southwest 3478, 737-800 coming in from Austin in the next 10 minutes if they give them a right turn to 16 right. Again, we're on South Flow today. Airplanes coming in from the north, landing to the south. So the winds are light out of the south. Might be pretty windy tomorrow. So I'm debating what I want to do tomorrow. They said winds are going to be 15 to 25, gusting to 40 miles per hour. So that could be interesting. And thank you for the like and saying hello. Let me know that everything sounds good. And glad to be with you. It is a nice sunny day out. And temperature currently at Salt Lake City Airport is, let me get my weather up. I'm taking a look at the weather. Latest reports. Got a light wind from the south. And temperature currently of 42 degrees, over though that wind makes it feel a little bit chillier, and it'll definitely be stronger tomorrow. Friday's calling for 50 degrees, wind south southeast of 20 to 30 miles per hour, and rain. So that sounds disgusting. So we'll see if we stay on or go tomorrow. All right, so ATC's made the call that 656, United 656 is going to depart from runway 16 right, which is our side. So we'll keep an eye out for that as I get a little wind at my back. So I will keep an eye out for that as we stare at Concourse A. Thanks for everybody for tuning in, and we'll be here till around 3 o'clock. So we got about another 2 hours. We're just starting our afternoon, and thank you for the likes. So I'll kind of turn the camera this way. Sorry about that. Just trying to get things more lined up with my monitor so I can keep track of the traffic that we have. I hope Infidel Fireman passed his flight dispatcher test, his written test. I think he's taking it today, so I don't know if he took it in the morning or whatnot. But there you can see the wind if we pan a little bit to the left here. So we do have that south wind of about 10 miles an hour. This is the first time I've actually been on the west side when we've had a south flow operation. So we'll see if it's a good vantage point or if we just need to stick with the east side. You know what I mean? Hi, everyone, and welcome in. Don't be afraid to say hi, and thanks for the like. It's a 737-800 headed to Chicago. Safe travels to that flight. It's cool because you kind of see those flights here on the south flow shoot out of a canyon from behind the terminal. So we'll keep our eyes out for those. Zoom in on the gates here. See if we can see where these planes are headed off to today. You can see that A321 at gate Alpha 8. Looks like that one might be headed to San Jose, California. See what the A319 next to it is going. And that one looks like Seattle. Looks like A12, gate A12. Looks like it may be departing to Seattle if I read that correctly. Thanks for the like and welcome in. So pleased you could be with us today. And as always, encourage you to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because that way you'll know when and where we're broadcasting next, because I'll put out a video the day before. Chantal, greetings to you. We were determining whether you were going to be going over the moon. I think Steven said you were going to be flying over the moon Tuesday night. So greetings to you. Looks like we had Southwest 2876 just land. So I better keep a close eye on that runway out there. So Chantel, you getting ready for, you gonna stay up late or are you gonna head to bed here? Hi everyone. Thanks for tuning in. It's Pip, or what we like to call PPL. You landed on the moon and built a fort. Well, you said you were going to build a fort, so I'm glad you kept your word. So well done. Well done, my friend. All right, looks like they're routing everybody south of the airport and then up by Great Salt Lake and then down to 16 right. Looks like our next arrival may be from Denver, United 1351. We'll keep an eye and see where that bad boy is landing. I know you're always active, Chantel. You're a captain of creativity. Or the queen of creativity, I should say. And I Mary Jane didn't have anything to do with that, did she? I wouldn't think so, right? We'll see. Oh, Chantel. Snitches get stitches. That's right. Snitches do get stitches. I will remember that. I will not betray you. I'll keep my mouth zip it. You didn't hear it from me. No, you're funny. I know I'm funny, but I mean, that goes without saying. So, yeah. All right, next up, departing, they may get in this arrival from Denver, but we should also be on the lookout for departure Alaska 614 headed to Seattle if they send them over on this side. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. We're just starting our coverage today. PPL is what we like to call it. Shorter than Pip's Planespotting Live, and I think it has a nice ring to it, PPL. So we'll see if that name grows. As soon as we make some t-shirts, we'll do PPL. Going to be active on my radar today since we're nice infidel fireman. Way to go. I was wondering about you. I said that at the beginning of the broadcast. That's awesome, man. Excellent work. Nice job. Congratulations. That's a big hurdle to overcome. That's one step closer to being a dispatcher. Congratulations, my friend. Yes, Chantel. The mind of a South African woman. Yeah, dude, that's huge. That man. I was wondering. I knew it was today, so I didn't know if you had the afternoon or if you did it in the morning. Thank you for the like, by the way. But that's That's awesome. What did you get score wise? Yeah, you are half a dispatcher. I'll take off the training wheels and you can take over commentary since you're now half a dispatcher. So that's huge. That is a great feat. Makes my day. 75. All right. A little lower than my average test. Hey man, that still passes. That's a winner. That is a winner. So did you feel like it was super hard? Oh, Chantel, that hurts. How dare you? How dare you? I'm working hard up here. It's still pretty cold. It's like 42 degrees. And if you're not too familiar, we're on the west side of Salt Lake City International Airport. This is the first time I've done South Flow on this side of the airport. So we've always typically done it on the east side. So I wanted to try this to see if it's great view, vantage point, or kind of eh. So trying it out, but we're still here. Good. Yeah, they make it out to. It's funny how they always talk about it, and they make it like it's a huge deal, and it is because you obviously want to pass, but they just hammer it home like it's a huge test, and it's just if you've been paying attention and reading the stuff, you should do fine. So just remember to also, looks like we are going to get that United arrival here from Denver on the 737-800. Ah, well, I'm glad Mark says hello. I'm pretty sure he owes me like a royalty check for all the students I've sent his way. Well, they that's what I've heard. Yes, he told me that South Africa is not the safest place in the world. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to like hire a bodyguard if I do a live stream down in South Africa. That is good advice, Chantel. Appreciate you looking out for me. Now I'm looking out to see if they're going to let Alaska 691, I think, is what we're looking for, take off, or if they're waiting for more arrivals to clear in. I would too. Infidel fireman, you have like your name, Infidel. You know, that's the guy I want doing my security. So that's a good name to have. And by the way, we're trying to brand Pip's Planespotting Live. We're going to shorten it to PPL, so that way we can put it on T-shirts easier. Wow, that is pretty bad. If you'd feel bad for sending your mother-in-law. I see the Alaska departure taking off. So we'll slowly scan to the left here. All right, so off to Seattle, that Alaska 619 goes. In the meantime, I see in the distance Delta 57 from Amsterdam. on the A330. So we'll catch that before it hides under the terminal. Excellent choice, sir. That is an excellent choice. There was an article, so a couple years ago when COVID first started, there was an article that said that if you plane spot on the beach next to Phuket, that you would get arrested. I don't know, the truthfulness of that, but that's a great choice nonetheless. You'll have to Google it. Again, I don't know how true it is, but I know I read that article, so you may have to search back in that. And I don't know if it was a spoof article, so I won't corroborate the story. But Phuket, regardless, is an excellent choice. I would highly recommend it. I have not been there. You'll probably just connect through like Seoul or Tokyo. Pip's Landing? That's not a bad one. That's not bad at all, Chantel. I don't know. But everybody knows things by initials, like the NBA or the NHL or UPS. Shorten it up. We'll see. It's not a bad idea, though. Okay, Google says it's all right. All right, good. Well, thanks for the likes, by the way, and saying hi and joining the party. We'll be here till 3 o'clock. That, or I would recommend maybe a little bit closer and easier to get to, would be St. Martin. All right, we've got a departure 2654 San Francisco to Salt Lake on the arrival. Meanwhile, departing 770 Southwest 770, headed to Houston, Texas. There's our Southwest departing right now. I'm not going to ask too much, but I'd just like to know how well you know Mary Jane. That's my only question, Chantel. Here's our Airbus A220 on arrival from San Francisco. God. Pan over here. Back to Concourse A we go. Hey, somebody subtracted their like. Was that Chantel? Fair enough. Fine, be that way. You guys braid each other's hair. That's a close relationship, I'd say. Very close relationship. For once, the A330-900 from Paris is actually late today, so we may get to catch that. Hello, privet to you. All right, as long as you promise, Chantal. I'm interested to see how bad the weather's going to be tomorrow. We're supposed to have winds of 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting up to 40 with rain. So I am kind of iffy on if I want to hang out in that weather. I thought about just driving down to Vegas where it's going to be warm and windy. It's supposed to be 70 degrees in Las Vegas. So, hi, everyone. Welcome into the channel. If you're new, I encourage you to subscribe and like. That way, you'll know when and where we're broadcasting next. So, Las Vegas, maybe, or Phoenix. But Phoenix is a longer drive. Yeah. Hey, Television, what is happening? You know, I'm going to ask the question. Has it come yet? Yeah, 70 sounds nice. I'm definitely considering it. It's just a lot of gas money. So if not, it'll be next week. Nothing yet. Okay. Well, I've warned you. I'm going to ask you every time. You're from Russia. Well, welcome in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome in. We're glad to have you. And aviation is the fun that brings everybody together. Inbound to us, we'll focus in on American Airlines 2065 from DFW to Salt Lake City. And Peter, hello to you from the UK. Peter, we were talking to a couple other people on Tuesday, wondering how much snow you got. Did you get any snow where you live? I heard there was about a foot in Scotland. Just didn't know if you got snow as well. You can see the nose lights from 2065 on that Airbus A321. We're in Salt Lake City right now in Utah in the USA. This will be broadcast number 18. 18. And kudos to my man, Infidel Fireman, for passing his dispatcher test. And then Penguins. Okay. Well, I don't know if I need to repeat that, Chantel, but that sounds accurate. You're welcome. Proud of you. Snow warning. Okay. Yikes. Oh, that's very cold. Peter, we'll stay warm and safe. As you can probably tell, and you'll probably see, we got quite a few mountains. Yeah, that's what I heard. My sister Patelli is very upset because, I mean, she lives in Naperville, so next door neighbor to you. But she always gets upset whenever I text her a picture of the snow. Like every time we get snow. So DFW from DFW. That was American 2065. Ah, yes. Below freezing. Only 2 weeks of below freezing temps. Holy cow. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. You know? Well, it's been, I would say, below average here. And, Los Angeles and Arizona, like Tucson, had snow. That should tell you how weird of a weather year it's been. Guess those tulips will bloom early out there in the Midwest. Thanks for the likes and subscribing. We encourage you to subscribe so that you know where we'll be and when next. Looking at an Airbus A321 there. There you go. Just get all of them. So I'm going to make a recommendation. I would say, infidel firemen as a whole, I would probably apply to most regionals. I'm not, unless the pay comes up, I'm not necessarily a fan of Mesa. That's just my personal opinion. They're in Phoenix, which is great place to be, but the pay isn't the best. So just keep that in mind. The only two airlines that I know of that are not union. Okay, that would be a good choice. So like Envoy, yeah. Mustafa, hello. Thanks for saying hi. We're here in Salt Lake City, Utah. The mountains still have snow on them. It's about 42 degrees or 4 degrees Celsius today. So not too bad. Still got my gloves, and you can start to see some of the mountain snow melting off the mountains there. So yeah, Envoy's a good airline. Snow in Birmingham, that's what I hear. I hear there's snow all across the UK. Scotland got like a foot of snow. Yeah, pretty wild. I mean, I know you guys don't typically get a lot of snow out there. So we're looking at Concourse A of the 2 Concourse Airport. Chuck Norris. Oh, Chantel, you are one of a kind. That is for sure. Chuck Norris definitely would need that. Yeah, being on the other side of the the equator. I'm sure it is pretty hot down there by the Tropic of Cancer and down there, and down the Cape of Good Hope. Like a hug from Hades himself. That's a good way of putting it. That's a good way of putting it. Next up for arrivals, we're looking at Delta 2402, an A220 300. Looks like they'll route them to runway 16 right, which is on our side. Or they may go left. We'll see. Nothing like having fans on the other side of the equator. That way we get it. We get it both ways. We get people who got snow, and we got people on the beach. Infidel, I was going to say that Envoy's a good choice. If you do get an interview, let me know. I could probably. God, it's been so long since I've worked there. They've probably totally changed the test. But I know some of the people there, so. And some of the managers there. Yeah, I don't know when okay, so here's a reference point. When I got hired at Envoy, there was no relocation assistance. I think they start out at 19.20 an hour. And remember, Texas has no state income tax, so take that into account. Horizon goes, which is in Seattle. Washington has no state income tax, but is much more expensive to live. Starts out at 24.25, I think, an hour. And Denver and Minneapolis, they are not union, and they're at 20. I want to say 21 and change, maybe 22 and change. And for lying on the beach, yeah. But jeez. And before I forget, Republic 21-ish, 22-ish in Indianapolis. So yeah. That's right. There you go. That's exactly how you do it. Smart man. Television. He knows that there's no sales tax in Oregon and there's no state income tax in Washington. Yep, you're correct. Or you could live in Sheridan, Wyoming, and then shop in Montana and live in Wyoming. But I don't think there's an airline headquartered in Sheridan. But I love Wyoming, though. So you look at this A220 inbound, an A220-300 Delta from Denver. Yeah, Wyoming has no state income tax, and their taxes are pretty low in general because nobody lives there. And but Montana has no sales tax unless they got rid of it. But yeah, you could do that too. It's almost like when it goes behind the building, it like dunks under the sea. I'll tell you right off the bat that Indiana is pretty cheap to live. You can find a nice starter home for about like 150 grand, which is really cheap. Anything in Dallas area is going to be expensive. As far as rent, you're probably talking at least $1,200-$1,300 a month. Honestly, infidel fireman, if you're close enough, I would almost, because if you got on with Envoy, you could live in Oklahoma, like on the other side of the line, and then just drive like an hour because you'll probably be working the midnight shift or early in the morning. So just random thoughts. A giant tsunami. Now, here's the question, Chantel. Is that just your usual brain or is that like your late night brain? And hi, everybody, for tuning in. Encourage you to subscribe and like the channel. By subscribing, you'll know when and where we'll be broadcasting. And wanted to say hi. PPL, Pip's Planespotting Live. And I am Pip. So we're here at Salt Lake City International Airport. Okay. Okay, Chantel. No habla inglés. Well, I could see it more so on the east side where there's still a lot more snow. Yeah, that's a good point, Novacor. Yeah, I do live near Salt Lake, so it takes me just about 15 minutes. I'm about 10 minutes south of Salt Lake, and the airport's on the west side. So it takes Like I got here in 15 minutes. So, and I'm on the parking garage. It only took me about 15 minutes. So without traffic, it's pretty easy. So, but you can also take the light rail, and public transportation is pretty well connected around here in Salt Lake. So they have like a Metra, Television, and then they also have a light rail, so electrified. Yep. Oh yeah. There's a lot of options out here. Next up on the arrival parade, we're looking at Delta 1532, Houston inbound on an A220-100, should be just around the corner. Okay. So yeah, just the southern half, which is like a totally different. It's like Illinois. They're it's totally different than Chicago, right? So it's kind of the same way, except everybody has the mountains. But yeah, Salt Lake's got really good public transportation. So they got bus, light rail, and then mainline rail that actually runs to the north to Ogden and then south to Provo, actually. So it's like an 80-mile stretch north to south, which is pretty good. This is our inbound from Houston, Intercontinental. Oh yeah, Infidel Firemen, get to study those codes. Ready for the second half. How's it going? Good. How can I help you? Just filming plane spotting. Yeah. Yeah, live streaming. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they're usually pretty cool about it. The police and everything. So, and they do monitoring and everything, and I say hi to them and whatnot. So, yeah, yeah, it's all right. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I like it, and it's good visibility. So, I pay to park. So, but usually I try and take the light rail. Yeah, so it's cheaper that way. But yeah, that's right. Yeah, Salt Lake's got like one of the like their hourly parking's more expensive than Phoenix or Las Vegas or so yeah. So I usually try and take the light rail. Makes it easier, but that's all right. I mean, most times, so I live right by Murray, but I was a little late today. Yeah. Yep. Cool. That's fair. All right. Yeah, I don't think he's a fan. He's trying to be a policeman and he's not. But he's also trying to be safe. So if there's something suspicious, got to report it. So I get it. I mean, and after all, I worked for the airlines. And so if I see something suspicious, I got to report the same thing. Not, I'm not doing my job. So thanks to 9/11, we'll see. I've never ever had a problem with police in Salt Lake, so this would be impressive if they feel the need to come out here. Yeah, I have. Well, not necessarily this because it's only episode 18, but I've been other places where I've been told to leave. So yeah, I think most times the cops are pretty cool if you just be cool with them. The St. Louis police are not on my good side, and Bradley police. I All right, Chantel, we'll catch you later. Get some rest. And then on the flip side, Bradley police. I've seen several complaints from plane spotters about them. So when I was in Bradley, I like would move every 30 minutes so that I didn't run into uh, them. So I was constantly on the move. Yeah, it's like, I mean, to be fair to them, typically, like if you're a credentialed media member, you have to call and let them know you're going to be there filming. But I guess I could be considered credentialed or whatnot. But yeah, exactly. It's it's not illegal to plane spot. That's what I don't get. I I think so. When I was in Omaha one day, uh, there was an officer who was kind of rude to me. Says you can't be there, and I was like, "Why not?" He's like, "You just can't be there. You need to leave." And I, wasn't going to get into an argument. I'm like, "All right." So a couple hours later, uh, I parked somewhere else, and I just walked to the parking garage. And when that happened, they had two other officers there, and I think one of them was like the chief or whatever. And he's like, I heard there was somebody plane spotting or whatever the case may be. He's like, yeah, I don't have a problem with you parking on the shooting from the parking garage. You just need to give us a heads up. So, and it's probably so they don't have to go out there all the time and look for, suspicious people. So he was super cool about it. And I told him I appreciated that and understand where he's coming from. So, yeah, I don't know what the problem is, but I'm not going to get on a tangent. I'm still going to do my thing. And if it's a problem, then, we'll get to we'll, you know, you pick your battles. So, but overall, most people are pretty cool. I would say probably 80-20. Most officers are super cool. I mean, if they ask for ID, sure, I'll give them ID. I have nothing to hide. I'm just like, yep, that's me. I live here. Da 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 da. This is why I'm here. da da da, and whatnot. And it varies. Like LA is, for example, like LAX is known for plane spotting, so you'll see people all over. And I have never, ever, 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 in the many times I've been there, stopped by a police officer, seen anybody stop by a police officer, because they know what they're doing, you know. And LA is, they're used to media, right? So, and they've got other things to do in their life than East Coast is different. Like East Coast can be super persnickety. So you just have to be careful. Patelli Vision, speaking of that, I'm kind of keeping one eye on the guy who's still here. He's in a tow truck, and one eye on the action. So sorry if I missed something. Oh, I might want to catch that. All right, Patelli Vision, take care, man. Thanks for saying hi. I'll let you know if I end up in jail and I need to be bailed out. So that A330, they've started doing service to those who are just tuning in and haven't subscribed yet. I encourage you to. But that A330 is one of, I think, going to Honolulu. They've started flying the A330 900 series out to Hawaii. That's pretty cool. Hi, everyone who's just tuning in. Encourage you to like and subscribe. You're watching PPL, Pips Plane Spotting Live. And we're being monitored by not the police, I shouldn't say the police, the parking attendants with a tow truck. So if they haven't left by now, they probably called an officer. So keep an eye out for me, infidel firemen. Keep the broadcast going until it's not. So. All right, let's zoom in some of the gates, see what we're doing here with some of these departures. I think this bad boy is going to Seattle. We can zoom all the way in there for a second. Nope, IH going to Houston, and is about 4 minutes from needing to block out. If you can see that time, it's 3 minutes. So we need to be out by 3 minutes, which is kind of cool. Some of the newer airports will have those screens, so it'll give you a heads up of like, hey, we need to block out in this time and such and so on. So that's kind of a cool function that you see. That guy sees CLT, so Charlotte. I think that's 1 minute. We'll see if that guy gets moving soon. And that's dependent also of when they were to block in as well. So I'm going to guess I'll probably see an officer here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Let's see how good my senses are. He's still here, Infidel Fireman. So, oh, but we do have an arrival, so I'll keep an eye on that. If you're just joining us, we're being harassed by a parking tow attendant. Hey, look, inbound to us is that delayed A330 900 Delta 21 to Paris. You can see it in the distance there. So usually we miss this plane, but it was delayed today, so we'll actually get a twofer. We've got actually 3 A330s today, which is pretty sweet. Thanks everybody for tuning in and subscribing. We still got another hour, maybe, depending on if they leave me alone. If not, I'll put out a video later tonight. I didn't say leave, everyone. I said maybe. It's like, no, I'm still okay. I don't get the problem is I like pay to park here. I literally paid the ticket, you know? I'm paying. Maybe I should call 911 and tell them I'm being harassed by a parking tow attendant. She is a beautiful bird, that's for sure. Infidel firemen or anybody else? Infidel, if I get arrested for not leaving, can you bail me out? That would mean a lot. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That means a lot. So what do we got inbound? Looks like we should have Southwest. Thank you for the like, by the way. 936 inbound. And also, well, no, not that one. But yeah, we've got inbound Salt Lake Southwest 936. Should be on the ground in the next 10 minutes. Behind them, looks like we'll be getting United Express 5254. Airfield Inspector 3, clear. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, we had the two streams in Las Vegas and Phoenix, but it's not like I've been hiding. And I've done 2 for Tuesdays here. So I was here 4 hours. But whatever. Got to be safe. Safety first. So we'll just talk about your successes in being half a dispatcher. The tougher part, I think, is the oral because you're waiting for the exams and everything. So maybe they made it shorter, but yeah, mine was like 4 or 5 hours. And he was retired. He was an old flight engineer. And yeah, he's an old flight engineer. So that should tell you how old he was because they didn't have flight engineers past probably the late 90s or early 2000s. So thanks for the like, by the way, and tuning in. Encourage you to subscribe as well so you'll know the next time where and when I'll be at, and hopefully not incur the wrath. Anything over 80K? Yeah. Yeah, that's true, weight wise. But now, all the twin engines. So, okay, Infidel Fireman, it's been now 15 minutes, probably 18 minutes. So he's still waiting. All right, inbound, I see in the distance the right turn looks like the United Express. Let me verify that. And thanks for everyone for tuning in. Delta connection to CRJ 200. Little bitty bird, excuse me. Inbound from Cedar City. I am fine. That's what the girl I dated once said. She said I was fine. Then she stopped dating me. But that's all right. I'm impressed they still find a use for these little CRJ 200s to those smaller cities. Still got a use for them. Love it. Here's our inbound Southwest. Still waiting for the police. Still haven't arrived. He's still here, infidel fireman, and everybody else who's watching. This is ridiculous. Thanks for the like and for subscribing. It's PPL as we head towards the second hour. We are at Salt Lake City International Airport. We're on the east side on a south flow, which means we have airports arriving from the north. That Embraer E175 just arriving from the West Coast. Anybody else ever been arrested? I have not. I've gotten plenty of speeding tickets, though. I have a need for speed, I will admit wholeheartedly. Looks like our departure to San Jose blocked out. No comment? All right. Well, they do a thorough background check, so I don't have to worry about that. The airline does. So when I got, we've got the London arrival on the A330 that is inbound right now. So I have to give myself credit. I usually, for some reason, have good luck with all the heavies because usually they'll send them on 16 left. We've seen an experience, but today they've all arrived on 16 right. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Federal government. Let's see. I thought about working for the FAA. But I like private enterprise too much. A little bit of lighter load today out of London. Forest Service. What? Do you guys even do anything? The trees are already dead, or they don't. I'm just messing. I'm messing with you. That is a tough job because there's so much land that you have to deal with. That is incredibly challenging. Now, the question is, where were you stationed? Were you a firefighter? Very, very awesome. That, my friend, that is that's a super challenging job. So I applaud you for doing that. You and Smokey the Bear, that's freaking awesome, man. Hi, everyone who just joined us. Pips Planespotting Live will be on the air for another 48 minutes. Very precise today on a Thursday afternoon as the wind starts to kick up here from the south. You know, if I go to Las Vegas, I'm going to have to draft behind a truck because it's a straight south wind. Closest I got to, I thought about being a police officer in Indiana. I did like a citizens academy, but man, the stuff they deal with, oof, is central Indiana. I ran for city council once. Oh, he's finally gone, folks. That was almost 30 minutes. What a prick. Pardon my language, but you know, there's a point where it's now I'm just being petulant and immature. I should have told him to tune into the channel. Dang it. Could have gotten another subscriber. I am going to talk to the parking people. And when I say the company that does the contracted, I'm definitely going to give them an earful. Oh, he's coming back around. He wants to make sure he remembers who he is. I remember who he is. They did subscribe. They did subscribe. Awesome. He gave me a mean look. It's all right. Got to be safe. Well, anyways, now that we're back on track, I'm just a nice guy. And since they're tuning in, I can give them my social security number. Last four digits end in 5941. I worked for Breeze Airways as a flight dispatcher, so I had CAS access, crew authorized. What does CAS stand for? Cockpit approved secure seating, I think. So, yeah, I was that. I got fired from Breeze. No, I didn't get fired. I resigned in December of 2022. So now this is what I try and do to strum up subscribers, make friends, and expand aviation knowledge. So there you go. Tell you, infidel firemen, I'm just looking for friends, man. I'm not here to make enemies, just friends. And to help people like you get jobs in aviation. I love what I do. I love what I did. Thanks for everybody for subscribing and liking. So speaking of CAS, yeah, when you're a dispatcher or pilot, so you are cockpit authorized, but you have to go through an additional background check for that. That's why most airlines have jump seat agreements. So that's something most people aren't really aware of. I can't tell you how many times, like, I'll go to the gate agent and be like, yeah, we're in CAS. They're like, oh, we don't see you. I'm like, well, you need to check again. If they have a jump seat agreement, you are absolutely 100% authorized to sit in the cockpit. Now, it's up to the captain's discretion, though. It's his plane if he'll let you get in. So it's really up to him. Typically, after you're, so they can either do it. Oh, that's a good question. We actually had, there are some airlines that'll have you do your jump seat before you're comped out. And then there are other airlines that'll let you do your jump seat after you check out. So it just really depends on the airline. So first time I did mine was right after I comped out. In fact, the very next day they're like, "All right, you're comped out. You're scheduled next next day." Oh, okay. You want a good story about dispatching? And I will tell you a fantastic story. All right. As soon as this arrival lands. By the way, this is Pip's Planespotting Live, or PPL. And we're looking inbound towards the north. We're looking at in the distance there, southwest, 5655 behind them. American Eagle, Colorado Springs to Salt Lake City. That sounds like an Air Force sports team, if I had to guess. That's my initial thought. But thanks for everybody tuning in. Encourage you to like and subscribe. That way you'll know when and where we'll be broadcasting from. I have a strong inkling that we will be on the road next week. It'll be my last week of freedom before I start my new job. So, all right, next up are Colorado Springs, American Eagle. I think they're running a 700 there, CRJ 700. Hey, Adam, you got it, buddy. You are always a nice, as always, and appreciate the thanks. All right, maybe I'll do that. That's not a bad idea. I just know I've been here several times before over the years, and I've talked to the chief of police before, actually. So it's not like I want to be a disruptive citizen. Good point, though, Adam. Well taken. Yeah, exactly. Just that's all. That's all. Just that. I agree wholeheartedly. You know, and the other thing is if he sees a violation as far as my truck, he can tow that, but I just I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong way that I felt like he was acting as the police when he was just working with the parking company. Like you have every right to report it if you see suspicious activity. I mean, that's part of the responsibility of working at the airport. Thank you 9/11 by the way. But and that's just society in general. We can't that just bothers me. I'm just it just rubs me the wrong way. But unfortunately, in today's society, you can't know anyone from the intent of their heart. That day is long past. But Adam, you're exactly right. Common sense, man. Common sense. All right, so I'm going to tell you an awesome story about dispatching my first fam ride. So you'll appreciate this. So as we mentioned before, if you're a flight dispatcher in the United States, you are federally required and mandated that you have to do what's called a familiarization ride with the crews that you work with. And you can pick where you want to go and whatnot. So, hey, James, hello. Thank you for joining us. Welcome in. So nice to see you. Feel free to like and subscribe. We're here at Salt Lake City International Airport. And we're so grateful that you could tune in. But anyway, so yeah, with your fam ride, you're required to go 5 hours each year. So your butt is basically the equivalent of like a pizza box. I am great, James. Thank you for asking. Okay, so I'll go into detail. And James, where are you streaming from? Where are you from? We always like to hear where people are from. But I'll talk more about that infidel fireman. Canada, excellent. I was in Vancouver about 2 months ago and would love to go back. There's a Frontier flight from Denver. Whoops, not that way, dum dum. All right. So, anyways, before I lose my train of thought, yes. So you have to ride 5 hours in the cockpit, the flight deck, and each year, by the way. So when you go in, you can pick where you want to fly, but the catch is infidel firemen. It has to be routes that your airline flies. It can't be just like any city. It has to be to cities that you as an airline fly to. So when I was at Envoy, even though American owned Envoy, I couldn't fly to St. Martin or anything like that. It had to be where Envoy flew to. So my first jump seat, I went to Grand Junction, Colorado. And the Captain Ed, super nice. It was actually funny. The first officer was on IOE or initial training. So it was fun to see her and in action and the captain. So no problems. Well, I didn't look at the forecast in DFW, but I did remember to bring an extra change of clothes, I think. No, I did not. I only brought snacks. So Grand Junction to DFW should be an easy departure. Well, it wasn't because there were storms building in DFW. So we had a flow time in there. So they had like an edict time or an expected departure clearance time, like 25, 30 minutes late. Thank you, James. Appreciate that. We're glad to have you on board. And so I knew something was up, and then we took off, no problems. Finally, like 45 minutes late, and we get into DFW, and then we get told that we're going to hold about 90 miles northwest of DFW. So, awesome. Well, that's pretty sweet. A Dallas senior captain joining on the layover from Denver. Well, welcome. Thanks so much. And thank you for what you do. I know it's not easy always, and there's late nights, so keep up the great work. I am from Salt Lake City, James. So, anyways, so the edict. So we're holding in the air about 90 minutes west northwest of DFW, and there are storms in the area. So we're just going in a circle, like like they would typically do. They have holding patterns that they do. Well, anyways, and hello to you, Dorian Player One. Welcome in. A lot of new people today. This is great. And so we're holding, and they say expect further clearance 30 minutes from now. Well, we don't have 30 minutes to hold. We either have to land in DFW or divert. So he's like, we're going to have to divert to Little Rock. I'm like, what? I don't have any clothes. I don't know. I don't have a hotel room. I don't have anything, because cruise services deals with the crews, but not necessarily dispatchers. So, well, thank you, James. And so we divert to Little Rock, which was our scheduled alternate. And we're just sitting there for 45 minutes. And I'm just thinking to myself, I have no clothes. I don't have a hotel room. I don't know what I'm going to do. So on my very first jump seat, I diverted to Little Rock, Arkansas. Now, the good news was, thankfully, the storms moved out of the area in DFW, and we were able to get back in about 2.5 hours late. So I definitely got all my time in. If I didn't, I was probably going to be a little bit shy. But since we diverted, I had like 6 hours of cockpit time or a jump seat. So that was my very first jump seat, and it was hilarious. And it's always the best story to tell, like the new dispatchers. So I always tell any of the new dispatchers when they go on their fam ride, I know you think it's weird, but you might want to bring a change of clothes just in case, and some snacks. Definitely snacks, but a change of clothes just in case you do divert. Because eventually, you'll let your boss know, be like, hey, I diverted. And then they'll be like, all right, well, get a hotel room and you can expense it or something like that. But yeah, that was, I know it's kind of long, but I definitely always want to welcome in new people. So we're here at Salt Lake City International Airport. But yeah, my very first jump seat. So Infidel, when you get a job as a dispatcher, don't, and anybody else who's a new dispatcher, uh, don't forget to divert or bring a set of clothes and snacks, because you'll just do the turn. So you'll land at the airport and you'll just do the turn, which is basically like an hour or 45 minutes. So you won't have a whole lot of time to get anything unless you stay overnight. You can do that sometimes where you stay the night, but just keep that in mind. Yeah. And so NWS NOAA, when I first started, I was at Envoy and we were on the ones. When I started was 2018. So we had the 140s, the 145s, and the Embraer 175. So they're kind of phasing that out right now. But then I moved on to Breeze for about a year and a half, and we flew the Embraer 190s, of course, when we were starting out, in 195s. Arda, man, what is going on? I haven't seen you in forever. What is happening? Captain, my captain. But yeah, I was with Breeze, and then we got the new A220s, and then I was with Breeze for about a year and a half, and then just kind of needed to go a different direction for a while. I was supposed to start MBA school because I kind of want to be a CEO of an airline or lead an airline, and so I'm planning on going to MBA school right now. So to answer your question, Noah, I am currently unemployed. So this is what I do, which is actually a pretty cool job. And I don't have enough subscribers or hours yet to have people donate, but that's okay. It'll come in time. But in the meantime, yeah, I was dispatching for Breeze the 220 and the 190, 195, and then of course for Envoy. So it was a lot of fun. Just got Modern Warzone 2.0. Dang, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, RW, you're on operations up at Hill. Sweet. People keep telling me I appreciate it, man. 757s, excellent. Well, that's a classic airplane right there. You got to love that. That's a fun plane to fly. I did actually get to jump seat when I was with Envoy, and I had to get out to Las Vegas. Americans, when they still flew the 757s, it was fun to ride in the captain's jump seat. So that was pretty cool. RW, yeah, dude, I was wondering what's going on. It's probably a top secret mission, isn't it? You can't tell me. But good to see you back. Good question. Envoy to work for. I know, RW. It's well, I'm not going away anytime soon. I know it's busy, and no worries. Hill's cool. The mall isn't too far from you. The Layton Hills Mall isn't too far, and then Ogden's on the other side. So you got a lot of restaurants to go to at least. Envoy to work for. Two things. I would say it's really good to work for as far as the other benefits. Now, if you're a pilot, I know they're trying to be very competitive. Poland. Nice. Oh, I got to talk to you more about that. We'll ask about that. But so Envoy, as far as pay for dispatchers, I think it's a little bit less because they are banking on the fact that because you are basically in the backyard of Southwest and American, where the money's a lot better, that they can justify a little bit lower pay. Plus, there's no state income tax, so they probably do that too. So, with that being said, I really liked working there because all the equipment that American dispatchers had, we had. So it was really easy for us to transition and to understand. And conversely, a lot of American dispatchers worked at Envoy. And then you got Southwest too. and they know that Envoy does a good job. So I really liked Envoy, and I like the people I worked with a lot. No, the only thing that was a struggle was the pay, especially. I'm sure you know that Dallas is pretty expensive to live, and Denver, of course. But otherwise, I really liked working there. And then obviously, I'm a single guy, so I love traveling all the time, and having American benefits was pretty awesome too. So overall, yeah, I would recommend it if you can afford to live in Dallas, and or you like the person you're roommates with, then it's definitely I would recommend it. So yeah, RW. I kind of figured when you said Poland, I was like, oh, I know why he's going there. Okay. I don't have to ask any more questions. So, can you say how long you're going to be over there? Ah, 17 years. Okay. Well, I think they're going to 6 months to a year. All right. Well, I don't know that they are, I mean, they're pretty dedicated to like the flow time to American is insanely short right now. I think it's like 5 years at the most, 6 years. Um, but you couldn't you transition just over to American? 6 months to a year, huh? Well, at least we have the internet to stay in touch with you. Yeah. Yep. They're trying to attract a lot of people, a lot of pilots right now. And the flow time. So my friend who's a first officer, um, he said that I was actually talking to him the other day. When he did his flow, he was 8 years until an FOC, not an American, but he upgraded to being a captain at Envoy too. So yeah, yeah, RW. Now see, I'm kind of interested. You fly. You're like on the F. Is it the F-18 or is it the F-15? And we're looking, by the way, on the for you new viewers on the west side of the airport. And oh, look at you, fancy boy with the F-35. Very cool. Very cool, RW. That would explain exactly why you're at Hill, because that's one of the bases. Now you don't like it? You miss the old? I can see that because everything's so automated, right? All the buttons and everything. It's all, you know. Yeah, absolutely, no. No, I don't know if they would demote you necessarily if you had the hours. I think they're at the point where they're so needing captains that they may keep those hours. Here's the one thing I will tell that I know for a fact that, uh, yeah, I I'm sure you do, RW. I think sometimes some things are so technological advanced. It's like this is too much. This is too much minutia. Like just want to fly the plane, right? But Noah, the I will tell you that Breeze, they do have a direct entry to captain for both. Well, I don't know if it's for both the E190 and 195 or the 220, but we were on a pace where we were hiring like just all direct captains, like direct entry captains. So might want to check them out. But I'm sure Envoy at this point is still in hiring mode, even though things have slowed down a little bit. But I would still look at that strongly. Yeah, buddy. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. We here Thursday afternoon had a little fun with the parking peeps. I should be nicer, but and I'm sorry. I'll, I think I was nice, but I was just frustrated. So, yeah, you're my boy. Got a departure here. Finally, A321. I agree. I agree. Thank you, RW. I appreciate it. Hopefully we keep attracting people, and the good folks here are aviation lovers. And it was really cool the other day. We had ATC controller from Sweden tune in, which is really cool. No, I start a new job on the 20th, so I'm going to try and get up to that 4,000 hours as soon as possible. So pretty close to daily if you subscribe. Uh, and this goes for everybody who's tuning in. If you subscribe, I usually put out a video the day before, like the night before or the morning of, saying where I'll be and when, and it'll pop up in your subscriber notifications there at the top of the YouTube page. So I'll just say, boom, pip, put up a video, and it was like 30 seconds. Hey, everyone, we're going to Salt Lake City Airport. We'll be broadcasting beginning at 1 o'clock, and we'll be on the west side today or the east side or whatever. So that's the easiest way to do it. So yeah, so almost daily. I was considering going to Las Vegas tomorrow. I don't know yet, but next week I'm going to be on the road. So hopefully we can hit up a couple airports on the road. Awesome, Noel. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Here's what I do know. I will be on regardless if I go to Las Vegas or tomorrow or not. I will probably be on Saturday, and then depending on the weather, Sunday as well. Uh, but Saturday for sure here in Salt Lake. Oh, good, man. I am glad to hear that. Certainly glad to hear that. RW, that's awesome. So yeah, we've had a lot of people from England tune in, and apparently the UK too, and they're getting a buttload of snow there. They're all freaking out about it. Very cool. Yeah, that's a good idea, RW. That's a good idea. All right, so here's my question. I haven't seen the flight deck for the F-35. So are you like a center joystick still, or is it like a side stick that you're on, or how does it work? Because I'm interested in that. I need to go to the air show. That's true, infidel fireman. Thank you. Okay. I was just curious because it was like a newer technologically advanced that if they like, okay, because A little small. I just kind of wondered about that, what it was doing. Oh, yeah, 6'4". Okay, so here's my follow-up question. Why aren't we putting you in like the C-117 or the C-130? Or, you know, not that I'm against, I love fighter pilots, man. That's the stuff right there. But you have a need for speed? Is that it? Well, you don't like those 8-hour refueling missions or those 24-hour 20-hour refueling missions? By the way, this is episode 18, 1-8 of Pip's Plane Spotting Live, PPL. That's like telling a NASCAR driver to drive a trash truck. It's understandable, R Dub. I'm just giving you a hard time because let's face it, I always wanted to be a pilot and fighter pilot too, probably. But my eye vision wouldn't even come close to cutting the mark. So now that's a little extreme. Trash trucks can go kind of fast. Infidel firemen. I mean, they're not the fastest. And then it's more. I think it's like driving a BMW M5 and then going to a Toyota Yaris, maybe. It's overrated. Well, that's good. Then I'm not missing out on too much. Although every time I fly the F-18 on Flight Simulator, I kind of have this like rush go through my body and my hair stands up. And all right, blocking out. It's true. But hold up. If it's not, that's the good way of the humble way of looking at it. However, I will say that, flight dispatcher is just another job, but I freaking love it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And there's certainly busy days as we see a departure for Delta 906 on that 737-900 get out the door. But yeah, I definitely loved it for sure. So you got to have at least a little fun. But no, I that's a good way of looking at it. Good man. Let's see where these beautiful birds are going as we're on the west side, winding down the broadcast. That's right. It's a good officer right there. Saying all the right things. Are you sure you don't want to be a politician, Ardeb? Yeah, man. Love having great people. All you guys are awesome. Enjoy having you. Yeah. So we got gate 812, looks like headed to Seattle. Yeah, that you do, man. That you do, R-Dub. Looks like we're that 810 is headed to Sacramento. Go a little bit to the right. Get you an A220. All right, so that A220 there at gate Alpha 8 Looks like it's going to San Jose, and they're probably just starting boarding. The A220 next to him. You can always, if you look up close, you can always tell it's an A220 because the windows are much longer. All right, Alpha 6 looks like a Phoenix. So they got some time on the ground. I think it's kind of interesting to see where everybody's going, getting the old zoom in. Well, RW, could you tell that to some of the other C-117 pilots? Got Houston tonight, and then off for a while. Very good. See, RW, you're like you're like Maverick, man. Let's call you Maverick. We'll just call him Maverick from now on. Tom Cruise. RW is like really Tom Cruise. He just keeps it top secret. Now I have not, no, I haven't. I've wanted to go to Hobby, so I lived in Dallas. So obviously working at Envoy for almost 3 years, I was all over the state. I mean, I went to San Antonio and Austin and Intercontinental, Amarillo, but I never was able to jump on a DFW Houston flight Hobby because those are always full. I bet being a downtown airport, they probably are, because you're like on the south end of downtown Houston, and you're still trying to navigate traffic from Intercontinental. So I'm sure. Look at this love fest we have going on. See if those parking people are still tuned in. We'd love to have them join the party because this is the place where love is, man. Inbound Southwest 737 800. I didn't know, RDev, if I was going to get arrested earlier or not, but there you go. Well, thank you, sir. You're awesome as well. We like good, high character people on the stream. Am I right? You know, I mean, shoot, all of us, even including infidel firemen, have passed a background check. So that should say something. Oh, it was like it's around 2 o'clock. It was 1:45, and the parking people patrol and whatnot, which obviously they do for safety reasons. But then one of them stopped and like just sat there for 30 minutes and was calling it in saying, just like, okay, what are you doing here? And I just told him, I said, I'm just plane spotting and whatnot, but I guess they had to call it in, which I understand because, when you work at an airport, things are always a little bit heightened security and you're failing if you're not calling something in. But it was just really awkward. He just sat there for 30 minutes. No police officer came, but I'm like, okay, what's happening? Yeah. So, no, that would be awesome. I love that. I'm more the dispatch and aviation news side, and I would love more pilots on here. Yeah, I just was like, okay, I'm just, doing my thing. So, yeah, I didn't know why, but Infidel was ready to take over at a moment's notice. I said, if I get arrested, you're in charge. So, by the way, as far as aviation news goes, if anybody's interested, since I do like to pass that along every once in a while, Avelo announced flights to New Haven from Greenville Spartanburg, so GSP, and then also GSP to Orlando. In case you weren't aware, it's a little low cost, ultra low cost, cheap tickets for you if you want to take a flight to New Haven in Connecticut. Go to a Yale game or Yale, or go to Orlando. All right, I'll let Noah handle it. That sounds fair. He can handle the civil aviation. I'll handle the dispatching along with infidel firemen. I'm trying to get my other friend who's a duty manager at a major airline to hang out with us on his days off. But he's a little more shy than me. This is when we turn to the right, we'll see Delta 2289 in from San Diego on an A319. There it is. Nope. Scratch that A320. I'm trying to get one of the techs who works for an airline here. I won't say which one, but one of the maintenance guys to come up and talk with us one day. Because, there may be some people who are interested in being an avionics technician. So I'm trying to get him up here. His name's Larry. It's not his real name, but I call him Larry. He's super shy, but I'm trying to get him up here for an interview. Yeah, absolutely. I do have an agreement with one of. Oh, I don't know if anybody's seen the dispatch video with my first officer friend, but we did agree that if we ever ended up in the same city and he was on an overnight, he would come on the broadcast. So hopefully, in fact, I was texting him today, so hopefully we'll line up. He did tell me. He did tell me since I'm going to be out on the West Coast, maybe the closest place is Bakersfield for an overnight. So I don't know if I'll head so far up to Bakersfield. Oh, yes, I agree wholeheartedly, infidel. Yeah, I apologize for that. My other microphone died, and so I had to use the camera mic, and I didn't realize how bad the wind was. So I agree with you heartily that it needs to be redone. So yeah, we'll definitely work on that. we will get another Q&A in, sir. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that San Diego departure is our last, or arrival is our last one for the day. It's been a nice, sunny, entertaining, interesting day, I would say. Thanks for everybody for tuning in for today's broadcast. So, if I don't talk to you tomorrow, I will most definitely talk to you on Saturday. In the meantime, RW, good to see you back. Infidel, nice to have you back. And congrats again on you passing the test for dispatcher. You're half of a dispatcher, half to go. Noah, nice to meet you. Look forward to seeing you again and safe travels back down to Houston. Enjoy that time off. And everybody else, great to meet all these new people. But for the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you know people who are interested in plane spotting, let them know about the channel like Noah will. And get you subscribed up and get the word out. But in the meantime, everybody have a safe day, an enjoyable day, and we will talk to you at the latest on Saturday. But if I do have a broadcast tomorrow, I will definitely let you know. So for now, thanks to everybody and have a fantastic day. And I'm glad you didn't get thrown into Guantanamo Bay. Me too, man. Me too. Everybody have a great day and appreciate you catching my six, and we'll talk to you later. Take care, everyone.